This is the QIDI Plus 4 and it is still one of my go-to printers even after using it for several months now. Now enough people have purchased this printer and have used this printer for long enough to find out if any issues have come up. And it so happens that there is something that's come up that needs to be addressed. So what I would like to do is crank up the heater temperature, crank up the build plate temperature to the max and run it that way for a couple of hours. And then we'll take the thermal camera and see if we can actually find the problem on this printer as well, because I haven't experienced a problem myself. And then we'll install the upgrade to make sure we never have a problem again. So stick around. The first thing I want to do is get this printer up to temperature. Typically I run at 55 degrees Celsius when I'm printing ABS glass fiber prints. I have done some higher temperature prints on this printer, but they only came to maybe about 20 hours worth of printing, and that may not have been long enough at that temperature to discover the problem myself. So let's get this thing up to temp. I'm going to run it for a couple of hours and then we're going to use that thermal camera and have a look. I turned my brain on for just a second, and because this issue is focused around the heater and not the bed heating, there should be two different systems. I think what I've done here is actually made it easier on the heater by having the bed on. So what I'd like to do is turn the bed off and have the heater up to 65. That makes it work a little bit harder, and then we'll come back in a few hours and take some measurements. I think enough time has passed. If it's not already obvious, please don't do what I'm doing. The printer is on. I'm taking the back panel off and exposing all of the electrical components, so you could electrocute yourself. I am using my P2 thermal camera by Thermal Master, and this is one of the smallest ones you can get. So to get this panel off, we need to reach inside here, and they've provided some tools as well to do this. And right in behind here is the relay that we need to take a look at. So I'm just going to undo those screws very carefully. Definitely up there in the heat. P2 temp 194, 191. P1 165. There is some melting going on right in here. Let me bring you in close. And what looks like a little bit of discoloration up near the top there as well. So we definitely need to replace this. So now we need to get the new one installed, and this is what QIDI has sent to me. So they've clearly labeled what to do here. Before we go any further though, the most important thing is to make sure that not only is it powered off, but it is also unplugged. So in the kit, they've included the screwdrivers that we need, Allen keys that we need, and the new relay, and a new cover as well. And I noticed there is a slight difference in this cover compared to the other one. So the new one has these standoffs, and that should promote a little bit better air circulation as well. Everything else looks pretty much the same. And they did include longer screws as well because of those standoffs. Let's get the replacement installed, and to make it a bit easier on myself, I'm going to remove these screws right now. And now I just need to wire it up according to the diagram they provided. All right, I'm just going to tidy up some wires in here using some zip ties, get everything back together, and I'll put the back panel back on, but I won't screw it on. Everything is back together. I'm going to run the heater for 3 hours exactly the way I just did the last one, and then we'll get in there and take some measurements. It has been nearly 3 hours. We'll get that back panel taken off and have a look. The original heater relay had one NTC 5015 thermistor resistor, and of course as these heat up they change resistance levels, and the new board has 2 of them. Well, everything looks in good shape. Obviously these guys are still hot, and that's to be expected. 121, 122, but we're no longer in the 200-degree range, so that's a good sign. There's another one. Perfect. So everything seems to be in good shape. Definitely a huge improvement over the previous one. From the official QIDI announcement, it sounds like this only impacts customers running their printers on 120 volts. And because I've been using my printer longer than most people, I couldn't understand why I wasn't having the problem too. But it seems like it's only really a problem under certain conditions. I will link their official announcement down there below if you want to check it out. They also have a video for the installation as well. Part of the reason that I think QIDI is one of the better 3D printer companies out there is because of how robust they build their printers, and of course the print quality is very good, but also because they have a reputation for excellent customer service and they stand behind their products, which is exactly what they've done here. They've sent me an email to give me a heads up. They've sent me the replacement part as soon as they had it ready as well. All in all, the swap might take about 10 minutes total, faster if you can find the right spot to push to release the back panel. There is an upgrade for this printer for the heater duct. It is designed by Mr. X3D, a recent contender on the 3D printer duct challenges, and I will leave a link down there below for that. And the next thing I want to do to bring this printer to the next level is to look at adding insulation. And I think it makes sense for most enclosed printers and also for filament dryers to be insulated. Right now the side panels are insulated with pretty thin insulation, but I'd like to look at insulating as much of the printer as possible. And I'd also like to see how much energy I'm saving by doing it as well. So that will be coming up in a future video, and if that works, I will release the drawings to you so you can do it yourself too. YouTube has sent me an email in preparation for reaching that 100,000 goal, so thanks to everyone for your help in getting there. We're not quite there yet, but getting closer by the day. And thanks to each of my patrons for helping to support this channel and making these videos possible as well. Don't forget to subscribe for more new and original content, and we will see you on the next one.